The haunting reflection. Heart racing, I stared at the footage on my camera, unable to comprehend what I had captured. The shadowy figure in the mirror seemed almost too real to be a trick of the light. I played the video over and over again, hoping to find an explanation, a rational way to dismiss the chilling presence that had appeared behind me. The hotel's history of hauntings suddenly felt much more tangible. The stories of ghostly apparitions and unexplained footsteps now seemed like eerie truths. With a mix of fear and curiosity, I decided to delve deeper into the hotel's past, hoping to uncover the identity of the figure I had captured on camera. As I researched, I stumbled upon an old newspaper article detailing a tragic event that had occurred at the hotel decades ago. A guest had mysteriously disappeared under eerie circumstances, leaving behind an aura of unresolved grief. The description of the missing person bore a striking resemblance to the shadowy figure I had seen in the mirror. With this new information, I returned to the hotel, camera in hand, determined to communicate with whatever spirit had crossed my path. The atmosphere was heavy, and I felt the weight of history pressing down on me as I approached the mirror once again. As I spoke into the camera, addressing the figure, I asked questions, hoping for some sign, some response. And then, as if in response to my inquiry, the lights in the hallway flickered and dimmed. My heart pounded as I continued to film, the feeling of being watched intensifying with every passing moment. In a sudden burst of courage, I turned the camera toward the mirror, my voice trembling as I asked if the figure had a message, if it needed help finding peace. And then, as if in response, the shadowy figure seemed to coalesce once again, its form growing clearer in the reflection. Its eyes gleamed with an otherworldly light, and for a fleeting moment, I thought I heard a whisper, a faint voice carried on the air. As quickly as it had appeared, the figure faded, leaving me with a sense of both wonder and unease. The mirror had become a portal, a bridge between the realms of the living and the dead. The hotel's haunted reputation had been validated in a way I had never anticipated, and the chilling encounter would forever remain etched in my memory, a reminder that some mysteries are better left undisturbed. The abandoned asylum scream. The blood-curdling scream had sent shivers down my spine, its echo filling the abandoned asylum's desolate corridors. Heart pounding, I followed the chilling sound, my camera recording every step as I ventured deeper into the darkness. The air was thick with a sense of foreboding, and a cold sweat formed on my brow. As I moved through the labyrinthine hallways, the scream seemed to guide me, pulling me further into the heart of the asylum. Each step I took felt like a descent into a nightmare, the memories of the building's tormented past hanging heavy in the air. The thought that I might encounter the source of the scream filled me with a mix of dread and morbid curiosity. The building's decay was evident in every rusted railing, peeling wallpaper, and shattered window. The asylum's grim history was etched into its very walls, a history of suffering, despair, and the ghosts of those who had once called it home. As I continued my journey, the feeling of being watched intensified, as if the building itself was alive with malevolent energy. Finally, I reached a room that seemed to radiate an aura of darkness. The walls were stained, the air heavy with an unsettling stillness. I held my camera tightly, my hands trembling as I entered the room. It was then that I heard it again, the scream louder and more piercing than ever before. I raised my camera, the beam of light cutting through the darkness, and that's when I saw her, a translucent figure standing in the corner, her face contorted in agony, her mouth open in a perpetual scream. My heart raced as I struggled to process what I was seeing. This was no ordinary apparition. It was a tortured soul trapped between realms, forever reliving the agony of the past. My voice caught in my throat as I whispered into the camera, trying to communicate with the spirit. But my words seemed to fall on deaf ears as the figure's gaze remained fixed on some unseen horror. I felt a wave of helplessness wash over me, a profound sorrow for the suffering this soul must have endured. In a sudden burst of courage, I approached the figure, the camera capturing every step. But as I drew closer, the room seemed to grow colder, and the figure's form began to waver, like smoke in the wind. With one final, heart-wrenching scream, the spirit dissipated, leaving behind an eerie silence. I left the asylum that night, haunted by the memory of the scream and the tortured figure that had crossed my path. The experience had left an indelible mark on my psyche, a reminder that the echoes of the past can linger in the most unexpected and unsettling ways. The ghostly playground. The abandoned playground stood as a silent sentinel in the moonlit night. The swings swayed eerily on their own, casting long, unsettling shadows across the cracked pavement. Armed with my camera, I ventured closer, the cool breeze sending shivers down my spine. The playground had an aura of abandonment and desolation that seemed to amplify the sense of dread I felt. As I stepped onto the faded play area, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was intruding on something that didn't belong to the realm of the living. My camera's flashlight cut through the darkness, revealing the rusted jungle gym and the empty sandbox. The distant sounds of the wind seemed to carry with them whispers, as if the very air was alive with spectral voices. The swaying swing caught my attention, its movement hypnotic in the stillness of the night. With bated breath, I aimed my camera at it, hoping to capture any signs of paranormal activity. The camera's display revealed the eerie sight, a swing moving back and forth, as if someone or something was sitting on it, invisible to the naked eye. The sensation of being watched grew stronger as I recorded the scene. The playground seemed to hold secrets that longed to be uncovered, a history of laughter and play now, obscured by the passage of time. But then, as if in response to my presence, the swing's movement grew more pronounced, its arcs becoming wider and more erratic. The distant laughter of children echoed through the night, mingling with the rustling of leaves and the creaking of old metal. It was a sound that should have been comforting. But here, in this abandoned place, it sent a chill down my spine. The laughter seemed to draw me further into the playground, like a siren's call I couldn't resist. I reached a shadowed patch beneath a large tree, the air growing colder as I did. The distant laughter became more distinct, forming a dissonant chorus of voices that seemed to come from all directions. I raised my camera, capturing the eerie scene as I moved through the area, the flashlight revealing nothing but emptiness. And then, in the corner of my camera's display, I saw them, translucent figures, their forms illuminated by the camera's light. They were children, their faces frozen in time, their laughter mingling with the wind. They ran, they played, and they swung on the rusted equipment, their forms fading in and out of view, as if caught between realms. As I filmed, I felt a mixture of awe and fear. These ghostly children seemed trapped in a perpetual state of play, their spirits lingering in the very place where they had once found joy. And then, as if their presence had served its purpose, they faded away, leaving behind a haunting silence that seemed to reverberate through the night. I left the playground with a sense of wonder and unease. The experience had left me with more questions than answers, a reminder that the boundaries between our world and the supernatural are not always clear. The playground had become a realm where the past and present converged, a place where the laughter of the departed lingered, etching their presence onto the fabric of reality.